Welcome aboard today's Monday Market Outlook here at TOPGUN Options. My name is Matthew Buckley. My call sign is Wiz, and man, we have a lot to cover. Just got back home from crazy couple weeks, dropping our youngest off at Ole Miss, and then back out to Boulder to drop our middle off for a senior year, and then back to Ole Miss for our daughter to for her sorority stuff or something like that. So craziness of the past month is over with. Obviously a little bittersweet, but looking forward to fall and football and all that good stuff, man. Georgia, we're going to the Georgia game. Can't even get tickets to the LSU Ole Miss game. It's going to be nuts. But really happy for our princess. But man, a lot more time to focus on all of this stuff and print money. Hey, before I forget, I just dropped this on my Instagram and LinkedIn and stuff like that. But look, this just dropped in Nature magazine from Monash University. How psilocybin alters consciousness to create a sense of oneness. Now, folks, you know where I've been, man. Duh. But I love the science starting to catch up to what many cultures have known for millennia, man. So it's just so cool to see the science really starting to catch up to where we are, right? We actually have a retreat ceremony coming up this weekend here at Sacred Warrior Fellowship. And then our next ceremony is the end of September. If you're feeling called to join our fellowship and maybe potentially sit in ceremony with us down here in South Florida, we'd love to have you. So you can go to sacredwarriorfellowship.com and check out all we do in our church. It makes my heart smile, man. We have veterans this weekend, first responders, family members. We have civilians joining us to sit in ceremony. Just, it makes my heart smile doing this work. Okay, what are we going to talk about? Man, we got war all over the place. We got, in Trump world, like a minute's a long time. And here we go. Now we got a trade war with Canada. Our 51st state, right? We're firing back and forth, and Canada's, Carney, the guy that runs Canada. Hey, no deal is better than a bad deal, and here we go. So trade war with Canada, and then at what time? 2:00 today. The Treasury Secretary is going to drop his economic D-Day, right? He's gonna hit. I don't know. Well, I do know. Who are the largest trading partners with Iran? China, and Russia. So markets kind of, you can see it in the S&P 500. We're kind of in a little bit of a holding pattern right now, trying to see what Bessent's going to do at 2:00. Whenever you hear the word war, it's usually not good, whether it's trade or real. So buckle up, Buttercup. And, we kind of gapped down on the Canadian trade war, and then obviously the economic D-Day coming against Iran later today. So we're kind of hovering, man. And the hover's not good, especially when we look like something like this. Right? We are at the, hugging the 20-day moving average right now on the S&P 500. We have a MACD crossing down here. I think we're going to implode. Seasonally, ladies and gentlemen, September, October are the, I call it Sept-Oct. Usually the middle of September, middle of October, I call it a shit show, man. It's usually a pullback, but we make money on pullbacks, right? Bearish double verticals on the S&P 500. I'm 6 for 7 right now since early June on all these pullbacks, placing bearish trades on the S&P 500 that have printed money. The only one that didn't was down here with this. I placed one down here and then we ripped. I'm like, okay. But remember, it's a trade. It's a trade that I'm pretty sure is going to make money, but it, more importantly, just as importantly, acts as a hedge to protect my long-term bullish position. So really looking forward to our primary live trade brief tomorrow. We're going to talk about a new one of those trades. I'm not digging this, right? The bond market broke last week. The 30-year, over 5. Bessent jumped in with his printing press to buy, some bonds. I don't like this, man. I don't like when Democrat administrations do it. I don't like when Republican administrations do it. If capitalism needs to be saved, it's not capitalism. But, a lot of things going on, man. And the bond market kind of schooled the Treasury Secretary. We'll see if he talks about it this afternoon. The Fed minutes dropped last Wednesday when I was out in Boulder. Hawkish. Here's the biggest thing, besides NVIDIA earnings on Wednesday after market close. The also biggest thing this week is Friday at 10 a.m. out at the Beautiful People Conference in Jackson Hole. That's Warsh, the Fed chief, is going to give his speech. That's usually the big, heads of the five family speech. So what's he going to say on Friday? We got hawkish minutes last week, and we got Warsh talking with the Beautiful People. Could be bearish, could be hawkish. So we'll see what he has to say. But this is a huge week, man. Like I said, trade war, real war, and the Fed talking. But here it is. NVIDIA. We have NVIDIA earnings after market close. We took a look at it just now at our 10 a.m. solo AI brief, and we covered this in depth, man. But this is kind of an iffy headline here. Wall Street is counting on NVIDIA to keep the AI party going. What could go wrong when you put all your eggs in the NVIDIA basket? Well, a lot. First of all, the chart ain't looking too good. Let's put up NVIDIA real quick, which... I mean, we're selling off going into earnings. If NVIDIA is not absolutely flawless, it's done for, right? This whole market is teetering on an edge, and we're going to implode. I think NVIDIA might hit the, the 200-day moving average down here at 195. They really have to be priced for perfection. NVIDIA is spending $6 billion to build a powerful U.S. alternative to Chinese AI. That's never a good thing, man. When you're spending a ton of money against an enemy, they are the enemy, that's giving us stuff away for free, you're in trouble. I mean, look at this headline. Let's read this slowly. Anthropic's best AI model struggles to attract users as cheaper tools thrive. Whoa. AI lab Fable 5 has met with sluggish demand from corporate clients. Ladies and gentlemen, this, people, I'm old enough where I remember an airline called People's Express up in like the Northeast, man. You paid cash, right? They had flighted, it was like a jitney on the Jersey boardwalk, man. People ain't going to pay up for like some snooty airline, man. It's a race to the bottom with airline tickets. It's a race to the bottom with these models here, man. And they're spending a ton of money. Why big tech's AI spending is $3 trillion higher than it seems. What? Yeah. Massive spending commitments for data center leases and chips aren't shown on companies' balance sheets. Oh boy. So they're spending even more like a drunken sailor, and being a drunken sailor in my past, I know exactly what that is like. So man, this is not good. Now, add to my September, October, or fall volatility prediction is this. Kalshi, Poly, whatever the gambling sites are, better than a 50-50 chance. Not only do they take the House, they might take the Senate. Ladies and gentlemen, and I really don't care. I mean, I do care, but folks, I care about the market. If Democrats win both, they will investigate and they will impeach. They will do exactly what the American people don't want them to do, right? Now, which is fine for me, because if it's an absolute train wreck for the next 2 years of investigating Doge and Elon Musk and SpaceX and Trump impeachment and everything like that, Americans will be furious. The final 2 years of Trump's presidency will be an absolute disaster and train wreck, and people are going to be pissed. That's how you get a President Rubio or a President Vance. I guarantee you, right? Man, if they win back the House and the Senate, or even one of these, lead, man. But they are gearing up for a wave of investigations into Trump and his allies. Now, it's so funny. Some guy watching this video sent me an email 2 weeks ago. This is why I don't join. Shut up and trade. Man, if I didn't trade my politics, I'd be broke. Folks, politics drives everything. Did you not just see me? We talked about trade at the beginning of this Monday Market Outlook. We just talked about real war at the beginning. We talked about Bessent. It's all politics. So if you don't like my politics, man, don't listen to it. But I print money. I am destroying the smart money. I'm destroying the S&P 500, the NASDAQ year to date. Go look at my personal brokerage account, folks, and look at my trades. So I know this is going to happen. And this is another reason why I could not be more short-term bearish on SpaceX. Ladies and gentlemen, they're going to drag Elon Musk up for investigation after investigation. First of all, starting with Doge, and then they're going to dig into all his, government contracts and SpaceX and all sorts of stuff like that. This stock is going to get hammered. I guarantee you. Short-term bearish, long-term bullish. I could not be more bullish on SpaceX and Elon Musk, but as an options trader, folks, I can be bipolar, and so can I. I can be tactically short-term bearish and long-term bullish, which is what we are in our model portfolio with SpaceX. But man, we're having an absolute blast here at TOPGUN Options. Got some new members last week. Welcome aboard to all our new tactical trade alert members. So glad to have you. But get ready, man. If you don't know how to make money as others panic, if you can't profit as others panic, you're doing it wrong. I guarantee you, we have a pretty challenging fall coming up. And like, as an American, I care. I don't like the market going down because most people don't know what they're doing and can't make money as the market goes down. I actually prefer a down market, not because people's 401ks turn into 101ks, but because it's options premiums go through the roof. So I prefer an up market, but man, if people are going to be panicking, I'm going to profit. If you don't know how to do that, you're doing it wrong. And I can teach you that here at TOPGUN Options. Go check out this Nature article though. Talking about, at Sacred Warrior Fellowship, we have an A for this. What does ego stand for? Edge God out. So these sacraments that we sit with at Sacred Warrior Fellowship, give your ego a break. Eat for a little bit, man, and you'd be amazed at what is on the other side of that ego. So again, I love seeing the folks in the lab coats and the beakers and the booger eaters doing all the Excel sheet stuff and coming to these type of conclusions like, wow, they do this. Man, at the No Fallen Heroes Foundation, we've helped hundreds of veterans, first responders, and their families get to a state like this. Thank God, no suicides, no serious adverse events, no nothing. Almost to a person, it's been the most transformational experience of their life, which just makes my heart smile. So if you're interested, if it calls to you, reach out, man. sacredwarriorfellowship.com. Okay, got to get going. Have a great rest of your day. Fight's on. Namaste and whiz out.